Hear this now, chosen one, for this message comes not by chance but by divine appointment. In this very moment, as these words reach your ears, a cosmic shift is taking place in the heavenly realms on your behalf. You who have been overlooked, you who have been underestimated, you who have carried burdens in silence. Yes, you are the one being addressed. The Creator of the universe has marked you, has set His seal upon your life, has written your name in the eternal scrolls. There are forces at work beyond human comprehension. Invisible hands arranging circumstances in your favor, even as shadowed figures plot against you. But know this, what was done in darkness is about to be brought into the blinding light of truth. Your enemies, those who smiled in your presence while engineering your downfall, they do not realize who stands behind you. If you sense the truth of these words resonating in your spirit, type divine revelation in the comments now. This is not mere coincidence. It is a spiritual activation, an alignment with the prophetic declaration being released in this moment. Your acknowledgement is the key that unlocks the floodgates of heaven's intervention. The trials you face today are but temporary clouds before the dawning of your destined glory. What appears as rejection is merely divine redirection. What feels like delay is perfect timing in the eternal calendar. The opposition you've encountered has not been sent to destroy you, but to develop the spiritual muscles you'll need for the position that awaits you. Can you feel it? The stirring in your spirit, the quickening in your soul? That, dear chosen one, is ancient wisdom awakening within you, dormant gifts being activated, sleeping potential rising to consciousness. What others have called impossible, the divine has already marked as accomplished in realms you cannot yet see but soon will witness with your own eyes. Your enemies are about to discover the terrible mistake they have made in targeting one who bears the fingerprints of the divine. Their exposing is not your vengeance. It is heaven's justice, the natural consequence of challenging one who walks under sacred protection. The time of hiding is over. The season of preparation has served its purpose. Now begins your emergence, your unveiling, your stepping into the fullness of who you were created to be before time itself began. The wilderness has been your training ground, chosen one. Every tear you've shed, every night you've spent questioning in the darkness, every moment you've wondered if you had been forgotten, none of it was wasted. In the economy of the divine, nothing is lost. Your suffering has been the sacred soil from which your purpose now emerges with unstoppable force. What your enemies meant for your destruction has become the foundation of your elevation. Consider the diamond, formed only under crushing pressure, hidden in darkness for ages before it emerges to capture and reflect light in ways no other substance can. This is your story. The pressure was not punishment, but preparation. The darkness was not abandonment, but divine protection during your formation. And now, the time of your revealing approaches with the certainty of dawn following night. If you recognize your journey in these words, press the like button now and comment, "I accept my calling," to signal to the spiritual realm your readiness to step into this new season. This is more than engagement. It is declaration. It is covenant. It is alignment with forces beyond mortal understanding that have been orchestrating your path from before your first breath. Those who plotted against you did not understand who they were truly fighting against. They saw only what their limited vision allowed, your human frame, your apparent vulnerabilities, your past struggles. They failed to perceive the divine mark upon your life, the angelic forces assigned to your journey, the prophetic destiny encoded in your very DNA. Their blindness has been permitted only so that their exposure might be more complete, more public, more undeniable, when the appointed time arrives. And that time, chosen one, is now unfolding. Have you not sensed the shifting in the atmosphere around you? Have you not noticed how certain doors have mysteriously closed, while others have unexpectedly opened? Have you not felt the unusual peace in situations that would have once thrown you into chaos? These are not coincidences or random events. They are signposts, divine markers indicating that you are being positioned for a revelation that will leave no doubt about whose hand guides your life. Like Moses before the burning bush, you stand on holy ground in this moment. Like Esther approached by Mordecai, you are being awakened to the realization that you have come to your position for such a time as this. Like David before Goliath, what others see as impossible odds, you will recognize as the perfect stage for divine intervention to be displayed. The confusion of your past now reveals itself as necessary preparation. The rejection you faced was protection from alliances that would have hindered your true purpose. The delays that frustrated you were divine timing, holding you back until all elements were perfectly aligned for your emergence. What seemed like abandonment was actually meticulous attention to every detail of your development. Your enemies have been permitted their temporary triumph only so that their defeat might serve as undeniable testimony. They have operated in shadows, whispering lies about your character, questioning your abilities, undermining your confidence. But they are about to be drawn into a light so exposing that no corner of their deception will remain hidden. Their own words will become witness against them. Their own actions will become the evidence that convicts them. The very weapons they fashioned for your downfall will become instruments of their own undoing. This exposure comes not from your effort, but from divine justice that operates with perfect precision and perfect timing. You need not defend yourself. You need not fight back with the same weapons used against you. Your vindication approaches not by human strength, but by divine intervention that has already been set in motion in realms beyond what eyes can see. The doubt that has plagued your mind, that persistent voice questioning whether you were truly chosen, truly capable, truly worthy, now reveals itself as the final test before your commissioning. Like gold tested in fire, you have emerged purified, strengthened, refined. What was meant to destroy your faith has instead forged it into unshakable certainty. Watch now as circumstances begin to align with supernatural precision. Watch as resources appear from unexpected sources. Watch as individuals are divinely positioned to recognize and acknowledge the anointing upon your life. Watch as your enemies find themselves inexplicably exposed, their hidden motives suddenly visible to all, their secret plans publicly revealed in ways they cannot control or explain. This is the season of divine reversal, chosen one. What was delayed is now accelerated. What was hidden is now revealed. What was stolen is now restored multiplied. What was meant for evil is transformed into your greatest testimony of divine faithfulness and intervention. Step forward now with holy confidence. Your preparation is complete. Your time has come. Your destiny awaits. There is a strategy from heaven being implemented in your life right now. Chosen one. A divine blueprint that transcends human understanding and operates with perfect wisdom. What appears as chaos to the natural eye is actually sacred choreography, each seeming setback positioned with precision to lead you to this moment of revelation and elevation. Your life has not been random. It has been orchestrated. The opposition you've faced has been permitted for a purpose greater than you've yet comprehended. Like Joseph in the ancient pit, betrayed by his own brothers, sold into slavery, falsely accused and imprisoned, all necessary chapters in the story that would ultimately position him to save nations. Your story carries that same divine signature. Your trials have been qualification, not disqualification. Your struggles have been preparation, not punishment. If this message is confirming what your spirit has already been sensing, type "Divine Strategy Activated" in the comments. This is more than words on a screen. It is a spiritual transaction, a connection point between your earthly reality and the heavenly realm where your destiny was first conceived. Your acknowledgement releases accelerated alignment with the times and seasons ordained for your life. Your enemies have operated according to earthly wisdom, plotting with limited vision, unaware that every move they've made against you has been permitted only because it ultimately serves the higher purpose written for your life. They see only the chessboard. They do not see the master strategist who has already calculated every possible move and counter-move. They celebrate what they perceive as victories, unaware that they have been maneuvered precisely where divine justice can be most perfectly and publicly demonstrated. Consider the tapestry woven by skilled hands. From beneath, it appears as nothing but chaotic threads, knots, and seemingly random patterns. But when turned over, the masterpiece is revealed. You have been viewing your life from underneath the tapestry. Now comes the divine turning, where purpose becomes clear, where beauty emerges from what seemed like chaos, where the master weaver's intention is finally displayed for all to see. Have you not wondered why certain doors remained closed despite your best efforts? Have you not questioned why relationships suddenly shifted, why opportunities vanished, why paths you were certain were right suddenly became impassable? This was divine protection, heaven's intervention, the loving hand of the Creator guiding you away from what your limited vision perceived as good toward what eternal wisdom knew was best. The disappointments that broke your heart were actually divine appointments redirecting your steps. Like the eagle that stirs its nest, forcing its young to the edge when the time for flight has come, the discomfort you've experienced has been sacred disruption. Not to harm you, but to activate dormant gifts, to push you beyond familiar limitations, to teach you to soar in realms you would never have entered voluntarily. What felt like abandonment was actually the highest form of love, love that believed in your capacity to fly, even when you could not yet see it yourself. The exposure of your enemies comes not as mere vindication, but as necessary removal of obstacles to your destiny. Their unveiling serves a dual purpose: justice in the earthly realm and liberation in the spiritual. As long as these forces operated in darkness, portions of your purpose remained hindered. Their exposure is the breaking of chains you may not have even realized were binding you. Watch now as clarity comes, as energy returns, as vision sharpens, as paths straighten. All natural manifestations of spiritual liberation taking place as truth displaces deception. There is divine timing in this exposure. Not a moment too soon, not a second delayed. Had it come earlier, the lesson would not have been complete. Had it come later, opportunity would have been missed. Trust the perfect precision of heavenly chronology that operates not according to human impatience, but according to eternal purpose. The frustration you felt at seeming delays now reveals itself as protection, ensuring you enter your season perfectly prepared, at exactly the right moment, missing nothing of what has been prepared for you. The strategy of heaven often appears as foolishness to earthly wisdom. Like the unconventional battle plan given to Joshua at Jericho, marching silently for 6 days, then shouting on the 7th, what you are being called to do may seem illogical by worldly standards. The path laid before you may contradict conventional wisdom. The direction you're receiving may challenge established patterns. This is the nature of divine strategy. It operates according to higher principles, accessing possibilities invisible to limited human understanding. Your enemies have miscalculated severely. In targeting you, They did not realize they were positioning themselves in opposition to divine purpose. The exposure they now face comes not from human effort, but from spiritual law as immutable as gravity. What is done in darkness will be brought to light. What is whispered in secret will be proclaimed from rooftops. Their very resistance to your purpose has become the mechanism for its most powerful demonstration. Stand firm now in this moment of transition. Neither rush ahead in human strength nor hesitate in doubt. Divine strategy unfolds according to its own perfect timing. Your role is alignment, positioning yourself in harmony with what heaven is already doing, stepping in rhythm with guidance that comes not as shouts, but as the quiet knowing in your spirit, the peace that settles when you consider the right direction. The exposure of your enemies and the elevation of your purpose happen simultaneously, two sides of the same divine coin. As truth reveals what was hidden, you are released to occupy spaces previously blocked, to access influence previously hindered, to step into authority previously contested. The very public nature of this exposing serves as testimony that extends far beyond your personal vindication. It becomes witness to many of how divine justice operates with flawless precision and perfect timing. A revelation is breaking forth over your life in this season, chosen one. An unveiling of truth so powerful that it will forever divide your journey into before and after. This is not merely new information. It is transformative illumination that rearranges your understanding of everything you've experienced. The veil that has obscured your vision is being lifted, and with divine clarity, you will suddenly see what has always been present, but hidden from your awareness. Your enemies have operated in this obscured realm, manipulating circumstances from shadows, counting on your limited perception to keep their schemes concealed. But they failed to account for divine timing, the appointed moment when heaven itself would illuminate what darkness thought was forever hidden. That illumination comes now, not by human investigation, but by supernatural revelation that no earthly power can prevent or contain. If you are ready to receive this divine revelation in its fullness, comment, "I receive clarity," and share this message. This declaration is not mere words, but spiritual positioning, an agreement with heaven that removes the final barriers between you and the understanding that will catalyze your transformation. What has confused you for years will suddenly make perfect sense. What has hurt you for decades will reveal its hidden purpose. What has hindered you for seasons will expose its divine permission that has now expired. Like scales falling from ancient eyes, clarity comes with breathtaking suddenness. The confusion that has clouded your decisions now dissipates like morning mist before rising sun. The doubt that has undermined your confidence now dissolves in the face of undeniable truth. The uncertainty that has paralyzed your progress now vanishes as the path before you is illuminated with supernatural brightness. This is not gradual understanding, but instant knowing, revelation knowledge that bypasses the natural mind and plants itself directly in your spirit. Have you not sensed this approaching? Have you not felt the stirring of anticipation in your soul? Have you not experienced moments of partial clarity, brief glimpses of a larger truth that seemed to retreat before you could fully grasp it? These were forerunners, prophetic indicators of the full revelation now breaking upon you with unstoppable force. What you caught in fragments will now be given in wholeness. What you perceived dimly will now shine with unmistakable brightness. Consider Moses before the burning bush, encountering not just fire that did not consume, but revelation that completely redirected his life's purpose. Consider Paul on the Damascus road, confronted not just with blinding light, but with transformative truth that instantly converted enemy to advocate. Consider the disciples at Pentecost, experiencing not just rushing wind, but impartation that turned fearful followers into fearless ambassadors. Your revelation carries this same divine signature and transformative power. The exposure of your enemies comes through this same revelation. As light floods your understanding, it simultaneously illuminates their hidden works. As truth clarifies your vision, it concurrently reveals their concealed motives. As divine purpose becomes unmistakable to you, their opposition to that purpose becomes visible to all. They cannot prevent what heaven has determined will be revealed. They cannot hide what divine light has decided to expose. They cannot control the narrative once truth begins its unstoppable declaration. This revelation brings with it divine interpretation of your past. Experiences that seemed random now reveal their strategic importance. Suffering that appeared meaningless now demonstrates its formative purpose. Relationships that felt like failures now show themselves as necessary lessons. Rejections that wounded deeply now manifest as divine redirections. The revelation is not just about your future. It is the heavenly lens that brings your entire journey into perfect focus, validating what you've endured and vindicating what you've believed, despite all evidence to the contrary. Expect this revelation to come in unexpected ways through unexpected sources. Divine wisdom often chooses the overlooked vessel, the unlikely messenger, the unconventional method. The burning bush was not the expected format for divine communication. The stable was not the anticipated birthplace for divinity. The cross was not the predicted path to victory. In the same way, the revelation breaking forth in your life may arrive through channels you would not have selected. At times, you would not have chosen, in ways you would not have anticipated. But you will recognize its divine origin by the unmistakable resonance in your spirit. Your enemies mistakenly believed that what was hidden would remain concealed, that what was done in darkness would stay shrouded, that what was manipulated in secret would never face exposure. They failed to understand the spiritual law that nothing covered will not be revealed, nothing hidden will not be made known. The very efforts they made to conceal have actually been storing up greater revelation. The more elaborate their deception, the more complete their exposure. The more intricate their plots, the more undeniable their unveiling. This revelation comes not to destroy but to restore, to return to you what deception has stolen, to reclaim for you what manipulation has taken, to recover for you what lies have denied. As truth displaces falsehood, watch as relationships are healed, resources are released, opportunities are restored, and paths are cleared. The revelation is both sword and balm, cutting away what was false while healing what was wounded by that falsehood. The clarity now dawning in your spirit will manifest in your external reality. Decision-making that was once laborious becomes almost effortless as divine direction illuminates choices with supernatural certainty. Relationships that were once confusing become instantly clear as motives are exposed and genuine connections are distinguished from strategic manipulations. Opportunities that once seemed indistinguishable now separate themselves as divine purpose creates unmistakable contrast between what is merely good and what is specifically ordained. Stand ready, chosen one. The revelation has been released. The exposure has begun. What heaven has determined will be known cannot be stopped by any earthly power. Your vindicating is unfolding not through human effort, but through divine illumination that no darkness can resist. The season of your vindication has arrived, chosen one. What you have endured in silence, what you have suffered without defense, what you have carried without complaint, all of it now becomes the stage for divine justice to manifest with undeniable power. This vindication comes not through your striving, but through heaven's perfect timing and irresistible authority. Your part was patience, Heaven's part is performance. Like Joseph standing before his treacherous brothers as they bowed unknowingly to the one they had cast aside, your vindication will bring astonishing reversal. Those who dismissed you will seek your favor. Those who rejected you will require your assistance. Those who spoke against you will stand speechless as truth illuminates their fabrications. This is not human revenge, but divine recompense, the natural fruit of spiritual law operating with flawless precision. If you feel the resonance of these words in your spirit, comment "Divine Vindication" and subscribe to align yourself with this powerful spiritual current now flowing. This is not merely message engagement, but prophetic positioning, placing yourself in the stream of vindication already flowing from heavenly realms into earthly circumstances. What you declare in faith becomes the channel through which manifestation flows with accelerated force. Your enemies miscalculated fatally when they assumed your silence was weakness. Your patience was defeat. Your restraint was inability. They did not understand that you were operating under divine instruction, that your refusal to defend yourself was not surrender, but strategic obedience to a higher command. Like David before Saul's repeated attacks, you chose not to lift your hand against what heaven had not yet removed. That restraint now becomes your greatest vindication, as divine timing demonstrates that your battle was never yours to fight. Consider how the 3 Hebrew children faced the fiery furnace without fear, making no defense except their confidence in divine deliverance. Their vindication came not through escape from the fire, but through supernatural preservation within it, a vindication so complete that even their persecutor became witness to divine power. Your vindication follows this same pattern, not avoidance of trial, but divine visitation within it, producing testimony that even your adversaries cannot deny. Have you not already seen the early signs? Have you not noticed how certain accusations have strangely lost their power? Have you not observed how particular opponents have begun to experience unexpected challenges? Have you not recognized how circumstances have begun to align in ways that quietly confirm what you have maintained all along? These are not coincidences, but precursors. The first raindrops before the deluge of vindication about to break upon your situation with unstoppable force. The exposing of your enemies serves a purpose far beyond personal satisfaction. Their unveiling becomes testimony to many who have suffered similar injustice, evidence that divine order cannot be permanently subverted by human deception. The public nature of this vindication is not for humiliation, but for illumination, revealing a spiritual reality that transcends your individual circumstance. That what is done in darkness will be brought to light, that truth may be suppressed but cannot be permanently silenced, that divine justice may be delayed but will not be ultimately denied. This vindication operates with supernatural precision, targeting exactly what was attacked with exactly what is needed for complete restoration. Where your character was maligned, your integrity will be undeniably demonstrated. Where your abilities were questioned, your gifting will be publicly confirmed. Where your motives were misrepresented, your true heart will be unmistakably revealed. Where your future was threatened, your divine purpose will be irrevocably established. The vindication matches the violation with perfect specificity. Your vindication carries with it restoration multiplied, the spiritual principle that what the enemy has stolen must be returned sevenfold. Watch as opportunities greater than those denied you suddenly appear. Observe as influence beyond what was restricted now becomes available. Notice as resources exceeding what was withheld now flow into your possession. This is not mere replacement, but supernatural multiplication, divine compensation that transforms loss into greater gain, turning what was meant for harm into superior good. The timing of this vindication has been precisely calibrated in heavenly realms. Had it come earlier, its purpose would not have been fully accomplished. Had it come later, strategic momentum would have been lost. Trust the perfect chronology of divine intervention that operates not according to human timelines, but according to eternal purpose and maximum effectiveness. What seemed like unbearable delay now reveals itself as perfect positioning, ensuring that your vindication achieves its complete intention in both seen and unseen realms. Your enemies will attempt to resist this exposing, to redirect attention, to create alternative narratives, but their efforts will prove futile against what heaven has determined will be revealed. Like Pharaoh's magicians, who could temporarily mimic divine power, but eventually had to acknowledge, "This is the finger of God," those who have operated against you will exhaust their resources of deception before the relentless advance of truth. Their very attempts to escape exposure will actually accelerate and amplify it in ways they cannot anticipate or prevent. This vindication requires no defense from your lips. You need not argue your case, present your evidence, or convince your critics. Divine vindication is self-authenticating and self-executing. It carries its own authority and implements its own justice. Your role is not to force vindication, but to align with it, not to produce it, but to position yourself to receive it, not to announce it, but to acknowledge it as it manifests with increasing clarity in your circumstances. Stand now in quiet confidence, chosen one. The verdict has been issued from courts higher than any earthly authority. The vindication has been decreed with power no human resistance can overcome. The exposure has begun with precision no deception can evade. What heaven has spoken cannot be revoked. What divine justice has determined cannot be prevented. Your enemies are being exposed not by your effort, but by divine intervention that operates with perfect wisdom and irresistible authority. The season of your supernatural elevation has begun, chosen one. What others have strived for through human effort, you are about to receive through divine appointment. This elevation comes not as reward for your performance, but as fulfillment of your purpose. The inevitable manifestation of what was spoken over your life before time began. As your enemies are exposed, you are simultaneously being elevated to positions they never imagined you would occupy. This elevation defies natural progression. Like Joseph's overnight journey from prison to palace, like David's unexpected leap from shepherd to king, like Esther's remarkable transition from orphan to queen, your elevation will confound human expectation and defy logical explanation. Those who have been watching your journey will be unable to account for the sudden doors opening, the unexpected favor appearing, the remarkable opportunities emerging seemingly from nowhere. They will not understand that what appears sudden in the visible realm has been long prepared in the invisible. If you sense this divine elevation beginning to manifest in your life, comment, "I receive my elevation," and share this message with someone who needs to hear it. This declaration is not presumption, but prophetic alignment, positioning yourself to receive what heaven has already released. Your public acknowledgement becomes the earthly anchor for spiritual reality to manifest with accelerated force in your circumstances. The very positions your enemies conspire to prevent you from attaining are the exact positions you are now being divinely installed into with irresistible authority. What they feared most, your advancement, becomes the very thing their opposition has actually accelerated. Their resistance created the precise pressure needed to develop the character, wisdom, and discernment required for your new level. They unknowingly participated in preparing you for an elevation they were desperate to prevent. Consider the caterpillar's transformation. How what appears as death inside the chrysalis is actually radical reconfiguration, preparing for unimagined flight. The dark, confined space that seemed like imprisonment was actually sacred incubation. The struggle to emerge that appears cruel is actually strengthening wings for sustained soaring. Your journey follows this divine pattern. What seemed like restriction was preparation. What felt like confinement was transformation. What looked like ending was metamorphosis into a form your enemies cannot recognize or comprehend. Have you not already detected the subtle shift? Have you not noticed how certain individuals have begun to seek your counsel? Have you not observed how your words now carry unexpected weight? Have you not recognized how doors once firmly closed have begun to crack open? These are not minor improvements, but the first manifestations of comprehensive elevation, the initial glimpses of repositioning that will soon be undeniable to even the most skeptical observers. This elevation serves purposes far beyond personal advancement. Your new position becomes a platform for divine demonstration, a visible testimony that vindication comes not through human striving, but through heavenly timing and supernatural intervention. Those who witness your elevation will be confronted with evidence that there are forces at work beyond what natural eyes can see, powers that can reverse circumstances, reposition individuals, and restructure systems with authority no earthly resistance can ultimately prevent. Your elevation occurs with divine precision, placing you exactly where your specific gifts, experiences, and wisdom are most strategically effective. Like Esther positioned for such a time as this, your elevation is not random advancement, but tactical placement, positioning you where heaven's purposes can flow through your unique design with maximum impact. The struggles that seemed to disqualify you now reveal themselves as the very experiences that uniquely qualify you for this appointed position and time. This elevation brings with it supernatural equipping, impartation of wisdom beyond your learning, authority beyond your position, influence beyond your network, effectiveness beyond your experience. What would normally require decades to develop is being compressed into days through divine acceleration that defies natural limitation. Abilities you did not know you possessed will suddenly manifest. Wisdom you did not realize you had absorbed will unexpectedly flow. Confidence you have never before experienced will suddenly stabilize your actions and decisions. The timing of this elevation has been sovereignly determined for maximum effectiveness. Had it come earlier, necessary development would have been incomplete. Had it come later, divine momentum would have been diminished. Trust the perfect chronology of heavenly purpose that orchestrates not according to human desire for advancement, but according to eternal strategy and kingdom effectiveness. What felt like agonizing delay now reveals itself as precise calibration, ensuring you enter your elevation at exactly the right moment with exactly the right preparation. Your enemies will attempt to discredit this elevation, to question your qualifications, to undermine your authority, but their efforts will ultimately serve only to highlight the supernatural nature of your advancement. Like the religious leaders who could not deny the healing of the man born blind, those who have opposed you will exhaust their arguments against the undeniable evidence of divine elevation manifesting in your life. Their very opposition becomes the backdrop against which your supernatural positioning shines with unmistakable brightness. This elevation requires no self-promotion or human announcement. Divine elevation is self-authenticating and self-establishing. It carries its own authority and creates its own recognition. Your role is not to proclaim your advancement, but to steward it with humility, not to defend your position, but to fulfill its purpose with faithfulness, not to boast of your elevation, but to implement its responsibilities with integrity. True divine elevation requires no human validation. It manifests with quiet authority that is recognized even by those who cannot explain its source. Step now into this elevation with confident humility, chosen one. The decree has been issued from courts higher than any earthly authority. The repositioning has been activated with power that no human resistance can ultimately prevent. The elevation has begun with authority that no opposition can successfully challenge. What heaven has ordained cannot be overturned. What divine purpose has determined cannot be permanently hindered. You are being elevated not by your effort, but by divine intervention that operates with perfect wisdom and unstoppable authority. The culmination of all you have endured, all you have believed, all you have awaited now, stands at the threshold of manifestation. Chosen one. What was prophesied in whispers will now be proclaimed with power. What was promised in secret will now be performed in the open. What was conceived in the spiritual realm will now be birthed into the physical, with undeniable evidence that leaves no room for doubt or denial. This is the season of divine manifestation, the visible demonstration of invisible reality. This manifestation comes with the force of a dam breaking after years of building pressure, like the sudden blooming of a desert after long drought when rains finally come, like the instantaneous transformation of water to wine at Cana, like the immediate parting of the Red Sea when all escape seemed impossible. Your manifestation will carry this same divine signature of supernatural suddenness after prolonged waiting. What seemed delayed beyond hope now accelerates beyond comprehension. If you are ready to witness this divine manifestation in your life, comment "Manifestation Now" and share this message with 7 people who need this word. This is not mere social engagement, but prophetic action. An external demonstration of internal faith that aligns earthly behavior with heavenly activity. Your declaration becomes the final key that unlocks what has been prepared, reserved, and protected specifically for this moment in your journey. The exposure of your enemies and the manifestation of your purpose are 2 sides of the same divine coin. As what was hidden in darkness is revealed in light, simultaneously, what was promised in faith becomes visible in fact. Watch as accusations dissolve in the face of undeniable evidence. Observe as opposition crumbles before irresistible favor. Notice as obstacles evaporate in the presence of supernatural provision. This manifestation creates reality that no human argument can successfully dispute. Consider the manifestation of spring after winter's death-like grip. How what appeared lifeless suddenly bursts forth with unstoppable vitality. How what seemed permanently barren suddenly displays extravagant fruitfulness. How what looked finished suddenly reveals itself as merely dormant, gathering strength for precisely timed emergence. Your manifestation follows this divine pattern. Not gradual improvement, but dramatic transformation. Not incremental progress, but complete regeneration. Have you not already perceived the initial tremors? Have you not sensed the subtle shifting in the atmosphere around you? Have you not noticed the unexplainable peace settling over areas of previous turmoil? Have you not recognized the quiet certainty replacing nagging doubt? These are not psychological adjustments, but spiritual indicators, the first fruits of comprehensive manifestation that has already been released in heavenly realms and now breaks through into visible reality with accelerating momentum. This manifestation transcends personal blessing to become public testimony. The unmistakable nature of what manifests in your life will speak volumes to silent observers who have watched your journey from a distance. Some who witnessed your struggle will be drawn to the source of your sudden transformation. Others who participated in your opposition will be confronted with evidence of powers beyond what they acknowledged. Your manifestation becomes living proof that what is impossible with man is possible with God, that what human judgment declares finished, divine declaration can resurrect. Your manifestation displays divine precision, addressing exactly what was attacked, with exactly what is required for complete restoration and advancement. Where financial lack was weaponized against you, supernatural provision now manifests. Where relational isolation was engineered to break you, divine connections now appear. Where opportunity was systematically denied, Strategic doors now open. Where health was attacked, supernatural wholeness now demonstrates itself. The manifestation matches the need with perfect specificity, while exceeding it with divine generosity. This manifestation carries with it transformative power that extends beyond circumstantial change to personal metamorphosis. As external reality shifts to align with prophetic declaration, you yourself are being transformed. Fear replaced by unshakable confidence, uncertainty exchanged for unmovable conviction, timidity converted to holy boldness. The manifestation is not merely around you, but within you, changing not just what you experience, but who you are, aligning your very nature with the divine purpose you were created to fulfill. The timing of this manifestation reveals perfect wisdom that transcends human understanding. What appeared as cruel delay now demonstrates itself as loving precision, ensuring all elements are perfectly positioned for maximum impact and comprehensive fulfillment. Trust the flawless chronology of divine purpose that orchestrates manifestation not according to human impatience, but according to eternal effectiveness. What seemed like unbearable waiting now reveals itself as sacred preparation for manifestation that exceeds everything you dared request or imagine. Your enemies will attempt one final resistance against this manifestation, creating doubt about its source, questioning its permanence, predicting its failure. But their words fall powerless before the undeniable reality now unfolding with unstoppable force. Like Pharaoh's futile pursuit of the Israelites after divine deliverance was already in motion, those who have opposed you will exhaust themselves against what heaven has already decreed and activated. Their very opposition now serves only to highlight the supernatural nature of what is manifesting in your life. This manifestation requires no human explanation or defense. Divine manifestation is self-authenticating and self-sustaining. It demonstrates its own source and maintains its own momentum. Your role is not to prove its legitimacy, but to steward its purpose, not to justify its appearance, but to maximize its effectiveness, not to defend its existence, but to implement its intention. True divine manifestation speaks with authority that requires no human validation. It establishes reality that needs no mortal defense. Step fully now into this manifestation with holy confidence, chosen one. The decree has been issued from the highest throne. The manifestation has been released with authority no earthly power can successfully resist. The transformation has begun with force that no opposition can permanently hinder. What heaven has spoken is now becoming visible. What divine purpose has ordained is now taking tangible form. Your destiny manifests not through human striving, but through divine intervention that operates with perfect wisdom, perfect timing, and perfect power. The waiting is over. The preparation is complete. The manifestation is now.